In this video, we're going to be talking about how to edit your videos for YouTube, and I'm going to be breaking down exactly how I do it so that you can walk away feeling competent and confident in editing your own videos like an absolute boss. I'm super excited to create this video today because one of the questions that I get a lot from superstar entrepreneurs and business bosses who are implementing YouTube into their marketing strategies is questions around how to edit, and there seems to be a lot of frustration and a lot of confusion around how to edit videos and the tools that you need to do it. I get it, I truly do, and in the early stages of my own personal YouTube journey, if anything frustrated me or got me bent out of shape, it was, you guessed it, editing. So if you're just starting out with YouTube and you're feeling that overwhelm around editing your videos, this is absolutely for you. Stay tuned. You're in the right place for all things video confidence and YouTube marketing for entrepreneurs and business owners doing great things in the world. So do subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified each and every Friday when I release a new video. And don't forget, it's all well and good nailing your editing, but if your YouTube channel isn't set up for success, all that great work goes out the window. So be sure to go ahead and download your free YouTube channel checklist and give your subscribers an amazing channel as well as super slick videos to feast their ears and eyes on. The link is in the description below. So back to the topic of this video. If you're watching this, my guess would be that you're quite possibly dealing with a bit of frustration, possibly some confusion, and definitely some overwhelm when it comes to editing your YouTube videos. As I mentioned, I am super excited to create this video because if I'm getting asked anything about YouTube constantly, it's how to edit your videos like a pro. So by the end of this video, you are going to have my top tips for how I do it so that you feel confident and ready to implement. So first, I'll share with you the exact tools that I use to edit my YouTube videos ready for upload. And it's really only three when I think about it. So the tools that I use are iMovie, the first one. The second one is Canva, and the third one is the YouTube Creator Studio itself. There's a lot of work that goes into creating amazing YouTube videos for your viewers and subscribers. So I'm all about keeping it simple, but I do understand how it can feel anything but when you're starting out. So let's take a look at the MacBook, where I will take you for a walk behind the scenes of my exact step-by-step video editing process. Okay, so the first step is editing. So now it's time to edit your video. So what we're going to do is take the clips that we filmed and put them into iMovie in sequence. As you can see, I have those saved on my desktop and I've labeled them in order so that I can put them into iMovie. So here we go. Drag those all in. There you go, perfect. So all of these clips were filmed in order, so it generally makes it way easier to edit. Now that you have all of those in there, the next step is just to cut off all of the excess video that you won't be using when you upload your video to YouTube. So if we make those clips a little wider, and we can see the raw file. So what we're going to do with each one of these is just split clip, cut off the excess. Okay. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to edit your videos for YouTube, and I'm going to be breaking down exactly how I do it so that you can walk away feeling competent and confident in editing your own videos like an absolute boss. Perfect. So we can now cut off the excess right here by clicking on the clip and splitting the clip again, and then cutting off the excess. Now, I'm not sure what happened, but the rest of my clips disappeared, so I'm going to do these individually. I'm going to play this. I'm super excited to create this video because something that comes up a lot in conversations that I have with fellow Okay, so I'm sharing with you another little trick of the trade here. The reason that I clap when I'm filming is to make it more obvious when I'm editing where I messed up. So I knew that before I showed you this clip, but I wanted to show you that because it's a great little hack for you guys to use during your actual filming session. And so we know that I messed up there for two reasons. Obviously, we just watched it, but secondly, when you look at the actual clip within iMovie, you'll notice that where the blue bar is at the bottom, it shows you your sound levels, and what you can see is a huge rise in the sound level where I clipped. So that clapped even. So that is another way for you to tell where you may have messed up and which parts of the video you're going to be cutting out. So right there, again, we're going to split clip, and then we're going to cut that piece of video because we know I messed up there. I'm super excited to create this video today because one of the questions that I get a lot from superstar entrepreneurs and business bosses who are implementing YouTube into their marketing strategies is questions around how to edit, and there seems to be a lot of frustration and a lot of confusion around how to edit videos and the tools that you need to do it. Perfect, so we're going to split clip again there and then check out the rest of that clip to see where we need to split the clips and cut off the excess. So I'm just doing this for the purpose of showing you, and you may have noticed that I'm actually editing today's video live for you, so I hope that that's okay. And I mentioned that the reason that you clap is to know where you've actually messed up. So that's a really great indicator, and it makes editing much, much easier. So then you continue throughout the clips with the exact same process until you cut the video down to just what is required for your YouTube video. So now we've pretty much cut it down to exactly what needs to be left in. So now it's time to add some bells and whistles. Okay, so now on to bells and whistles. I called this step Canva because Canva is absolutely phenomenal, and I'm going to show you why. So if you have a branded intro, great, add one, I like to. And it's also a great idea to put your social handle in either the top right corner or bottom left. So I'm going to show you exactly how I personally do that. So I myself have actually created my own social handle to go on my videos within Canva, and you may have noticed that an extra clip's arrived at the top here, and this is where we then put our social handle. Okay, so I'm going to spread that along because I want that really across the whole video. Just like that. And then I want to make sure that the logo, the social handle itself, doesn't move. So the way that I do that is making sure that this clip here is highlighted, and then I head and click onto this option. Whoops, that was the wrong one. And then I choose the option to fit the social handle. Okay, so as I play my video, you can see that that has now appeared in the bottom left corner. Now, if you don't have a social handle already as a graphic, you can easily go in and create one within Canva. As I've mentioned before, I absolutely adore Canva. I think it's a phenomenal tool. So what you'd actually need to do is head over to canva.com. I'll put the link in the description, and then you click on Create a Design when you get there, and you click on the Custom Dimensions option. And for YouTube graphics, it is dimensions 1920 by 1080. Okay, but since I've created one, I'm not going to go into that. That's more about how to edit the video, but a Canva tutorial is something I'm happy to do at a later date. So I already downloaded the one graphic. We've just put it down onto the actual video editing software within iMovie. And I downloaded that with a transparent background so that it didn't cover the video entirely. Okay, that's great, it's in there. On to step 3, tight and wide shots for pattern interrupt. So let's talk about tight and wide shots for a second. I personally use tight and wide shots a lot, and the main purpose for that is to create a more visual demonstration of the parts within my video that would count as massive pearly nuggets of wisdom. But equally, it's about creating a more visual aesthetic so that your viewers have a better experience, because let's face it, nobody wants to sit there for 5, 10, 15, maybe even 20 minutes and just look at a talking head. So the way that we do this is by heading over to the clip that you wish to create a tight or wide shot for and highlighting it. And then we head on over to this little icon right here, Click and select crop to fill. Pay attention to the framing and positioning and always have in mind the experience you wish to create for your viewer. So we're going to bring that in a little tighter and we're going to centralize the frame more to me. I think centralize is the right word to use. And once we've done that and we're happy with what that looks like, we click this little icon over here. And I'm just going to play the clip before so you can see what actually happens visually. For pattern interrupt. So let's talk about tight and wide shots for a second. I personally use tight and wide shots a lot, and the main purpose for that is to create a... You see? So what that did was change the visual entirely. And again, what you want to be doing is going through the clips within your video where you want to create more of a visual emphasis and rinse and repeat the process. Comment below with edit like a boss if this is all making sense to you, and let me know what your biggest takeaways are so far. Okay, so the next step is adding any graphics or images that you have to add to your video. So again, I myself create all of these inside of Canva. So actually, I guess you are getting a little bit of a Canva tutorial. I thought that it would be more beneficial to show you how I actually create my graphics while we're here, but this is just going to be a real brief glance. So remember further back in the video, I mentioned that you go to this Create Your Design button here, click on Custom Dimensions, they're already in there. I guess Canva knows what I'm coming back for. And then you click on Create a Design. Now, when you're editing your videos, you have to remember people are very visual creatures. And when you add in things like this, it really breaks up the video nicely, and it also further encourages your viewers to take action and get involved in the comments and engaging with you. Now, for me, typically anywhere I ask a question within my video is a place where I would add a graphic, or if I had a particular call to action for my viewers and subscribers, typically I would add a graphic. Again, it's about catering to the visual needs of your viewers and subscribers. So right now, as you can see, we're inside Canva. You will know what works for you in terms of your branding, but if you've been here a while, for me, you know that there's a lot of purple going on, and my business is all around teaching amazing entrepreneurs, much like yourself, how to utilize YouTube and increase your impact, influence, and income. So this is the kind of thing that we're looking at here. I'm not going to go in depth in Canva because this video is more about how to edit your videos for YouTube. So for each step, I always put in a graphic. So let's say, for example, right now I'm creating a graphic for, funnily enough, this exact step right here. So step 4, as I mentioned, is adding graphics and images. So I'm just literally going to create this inside of Canva for you right now. Put in my brand colours and just make it all prettiful. Beautiful, prettiful. We'll go with prettiful. So there we go, I've created a graphic for this particular step. You'd then go over here and click on Publish, click on Download, click on Download again. And it's preparing my design. Perfect, there we go. Excellent, excellent. So for me, I have to put that on desktop for now because it just works easier. There you go, you've just seen it appear. So on to step 4, and here I will be putting in my graphics and images graphic. And where you actually put your graphics is actually just above the video clips. You can stretch those out further along to cover your speech as you're actually speaking, and just make that aesthetic more appealing to your viewers. So, I mean, the great thing about Canva is literally most of this takes minutes at a time. Again, I'm going back in to fit this because I actually don't want it to move. But for you, you might want it to. It really does depend on what experience, what aesthetic, and what visual you're creating for your viewers. Now, you can also get royalty-free images, and this I've only recently learned about Canva, and I think it's absolutely phenomenal. So I like to use graphics throughout my videos more from the point of view of, I guess, illustrating what I'm talking about, which again is a very powerful thing to do, and also set the scene for my viewers. So again, within Canva, you can actually make the most of selecting their royalty-free images, and you actually do that by going to this little left-hand sidebar here, clicking the More option, and then you can select your preference, which would either be Pexels or Pixabay, which are the ones that do the great stock images, as you can see. So be sure to use your own images and graphics for your videos, you know, whatever brand, whatever's on brand for you, obviously you use, and your images will depend on what you're trying to illustrate within your video. So I mean, let's just say, for example, that I want to take this image right here. I'm just going to delete all the paraphernalia and I'm going to stretch this out a little bit until it fits the image. Nowhere in this video am I talking about anything that's going to be relevant to this image, but this is for the purpose of demonstrating to you guys watching right now how you would actually input your graphics and your visuals within your YouTube videos. So we're just preparing this design again. Oops, don't need Siri right now. Siri's good. Thanks, Siri, bye-bye.
I'm not...
You're all right. And even when you're editing the videos, you can have certain things happen because they just do. So that wasn't really the most perfect demonstration of how to do it, but you get the idea. So I'm going to put replace there for now. And then we're going to input this into my actual video. And then you'd again put those types of things just there. So your graphics, your images would go above the actual video clips. Obviously they're not going to go in, but that is the idea. That's basically how it works. If you make a mistake like I just did and you don't want to keep that in, then you'd actually put the graphic or the image within the video clips, and then you can just simply delete it. Okay, so that is how it works. You know what is going to work best for your video, your channel, and your own viewers and subscribers, but that is the premise of it. So the fifth step is screencasts. So again, I'm going to go back to the fact that people are super visual creatures, and because of that, it's a great idea to add screencasts to your video. Now, you'll need to film these separately and add these in too. Now, I use them whenever I have a call to action in my videos. For example, where I invite my viewers to subscribe to my channel, I always add in a screencast showing them exactly how they can do that. So I'm going to show you an example of how I would. Now, I have personally already created mine. In the same way as I'm teaching you right now via QuickTime and a screen recording, this is very much how I do it. So here's my screencast. Okay, so you see what that's doing. That's giving your audience a visual around your invite to go and subscribe to your channel. This is an example of just one call to action. I mean, I do this when I have a free checklist, for example, that I'm offering to my viewers to go ahead and download. That's another example of a call to action. It's going to depend on what your videos are about and what it is you're trying to teach your viewers and subscribers to do. So in the same way as I've been doing with the graphics and the social handle, you simply take your file and you add it to the top of the main video clips. Now, because that's not long enough to cover that particular clip, I'm actually going to do it twice, and then I'm going to shrink down that last bit so it's all in line. Okay. So as I mentioned, I do these when I have a free checklist to offer, if I'm doing a training, when I'm inviting my viewers and subscribers to actually subscribe to my channel. It's way easier to show them at the same time as tell them what they need to do. So I simply add those in there just like that in iMovie above the main video. So what they'll actually see when viewing is that screencast at the exact moment I am actually talking them through what to do next. So I will show you what that looks like.
Absolutely for you. Stay tuned. You're in the right place for all things video confidence and YouTube marketing for entrepreneurs and business owners doing great things in the world. So do subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified each and every Friday when I release a new video.
See? So what I'd then do to that is go ahead and hit this little option up here again, select crop to fill, and then shrink that right on down. so that my viewers can instantly see exactly what it is I'm telling them to do. And then we'll hit this option over here. And then because I did it twice, I'm going to do the same thing again. Click that option, crop to fill, and shrink it right on down so my viewers know exactly what to do at the exact moment that I'm telling them to do it. And let's take a look at that now.
This is absolutely for you. Stay tuned. You're in the right place for all things video confidence and YouTube marketing.
There you go, I'm happy with that. Okay, so last but definitely not least is music and sound effects. So doing things like adding music and sound effects really help to set you apart from the crowd, and again, enriches your viewers' experiences when they click on to watch your videos. You can get great royalty-free music right here inside of YouTube by going into the Creator Studio, which you get to by clicking on the icon at the top here, and then selecting the YouTube Studio Beta option. And here we go. What that gives you is your channel dashboard. I personally tend to go over and switch to Creator Studio Classic purely because that is my preference. And then what you do is you'd head over to the left-hand sidebar, click on, oh, there it is, whoops, click on Create. And then what that actually does is it takes you over to the inbuilt audio library where you can choose and download the music that you would like to put in your video. And as you can see, there's the free music library and there's also the sound effects library. So try them all out and see what you would like to put in your own videos. That is obviously going to differ depending on what your videos are about and all the contributing factors. Now, I myself have actually already selected my music, but I wanted to show you that step in the video just so you know how to do it. And when you selected your music, drop it into iMovie. I have two pieces of music that I like to use, one that goes at the beginning and end of my videos and one that goes into the actual, I guess, middle, but where I'm speaking, talking you through the steps typically. So the way that you'd add music is by heading over to your clip for music, and then this time what we're actually doing is we're putting the music bar below your raw video. Now, a super boss tip, and is something that I did to begin with, which wasn't the best turnout for, I think, my first or second video, make sure that you bring the levels of your music down so it doesn't drown out your voice. Now, typically for me, I tend to take it down to about 7 or 8 because this is background music, right? It's not the focal point of the video. I also turn my levels up as well on the video clips, as you can see, just to show you that you can do that too. You'll decide what works, but let's just take a look. You can now see that I have music in there, and let's make sure that you can hear it.
In this video, we're going to be talking about how to edit your video.
There you go, perfect, that's in there. So I personally will probably go and mess with the levels, but just to show you how exactly to do that. So now, not only do you have an epic video, not only do you have great graphics and images, you also have sound, which rounds the video out beautifully. So now you know exactly how to edit your videos with ease and confidence, but what about when you're a few steps before that and you're struggling with even the confidence to hit the record button and film your videos, let alone edit them? I've got you back. I created a video that breaks down the 7 P's it takes to get super confident on camera and film your YouTube videos. The link to that video is in the info cards on this video and also in the description below. As I mentioned before, none of this information is much use to you though without having a channel that sings to your raving fans and ideal clients. So be sure to grab your free YouTube channel checklist so that you can create a YouTube channel that has your raving fans at hello and keeps them coming back to your world every time you release a new video. The link is in the description below, so go and grab yours. If you like this video, let me know by hitting the like button. Make sure that you go and hit subscribe and the notification bell so you can be informed each and every Friday when I release a new video, and be sure to share this one out with your fellow entrepreneurs and business bosses who may be in the early leg of their YouTube journey and will find value in these videos. Make sure you pop back next week where I'll be breaking down in detail exactly how I actually film my YouTube videos. Also, comment below with helpful if you found value bombs you can think about and implement for your own video editing process. And I will see you on the next video.